chairs here. Yeah.
All right. All right, we're going to continue on with our media availabilities. We're now joined by Christopher Bell, driver of the number 20 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. If you have a question for Christopher, raise your hand and we'll get a mic to you. We'll start over here with John.
John Newby, Savage Ventures. So I asked John Hunter this, So I asked John Hunter this earlier. Last year with the Roval, everyone was concerned about the hairpin, dive bomb, stuff like that. On this track, are there other similar concerns for any areas where people might make, I guess, dumb moves?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a hard time understanding you. It's like the echo or something, I don't know.
Let's try that again. Is that any better?
I mean, you can try, yeah.
Are there any potential trouble spots that you're anticipating?
That's way better. I don't know. I mean, I think the trouble spots are always going to be turn 1 on the restarts. But with the new restart zone that they implemented, it seemed like that helped that out a lot. And you know, as a racer, I want it to be a little bit more straightforward and a little bit less trouble spots. But you know, we don't know how 6B and 6A are going to race yet. I think that could be. Or an opportunity. It could be like it kind of reminds me of, what is that section at Chicago, like maybe 5, where it's really tight back through there, and we saw a bunch of pileups and the track can get blocked, so maybe that could happen. But turn 1, with it being the biggest break zone, I think that's going to be the biggest area for issues, and you know, it seemed like that got cleaned up a lot with the updated restart zone. So I'm a fan of that, and hopefully it allows more of the best cars to race for the win.
We'll go to Jerry on your right, Christopher.
Jerry Jordan, KickingTheTires.net. I was going to ask you about 6A. Have you walked the track at all? Have you?
I have, yes.
What do you think about that particular turn? And since you brought up Chicago, is it wide enough to make that arc like that? Because it's almost a reverse angle there.
Yeah, it's just awkward. It's just a very awkward corner with how you're coming off of turn 6, the right-hander and the S's. The whole car is like pushing you out track left, and then you don't really have a ton of visuals getting into 6A there, except now they have a big old tire pack, which is good because that gives us a reference of where the apex is. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it is a major or a pretty high intense braking zone. But the thing is, your car is automatically trying to take you track left, so I don't know how big of a passing zone it's going to be. We'll find out more after the Xfinity race, though, and I'm excited for the challenge and trying to learn a new section of the track. I think it's good to always shake it up.
Was there any sim on that at all?
There was. The simulator changed about 15 times since we started, just because we didn't know what the course was going to look like, what the visuals were. I'd run plenty of laps there with nothing marking the track, and you just kind of ran through the gravel. And then the last time that I ran through there in the simulator, we had the tire pack in place. So the hardest thing is just getting the sight line. Like it's weird because there's no elevation change there, but it's a very blind corner. Just your references are really there's not a lot to reference off of where your track or where your car is positioned on track. So yeah, it's going to take some acclimation for sure.
Right in the center there, Christopher.
It's Kevin, NASCAR.com. Last year you mentioned that at the end of the season you left a lot on the table for the 20 team. You got a win early already after Atlanta. So what's the confidence like that you can add more and stack more wins this season?
I feel good about it, and honestly the win last week doesn't really change my outlook on the season, just because I didn't have that one planned on winning. I don't think anybody on this 20 group expected to win a speedway race this year. It's a goal, and you want to try and obviously do it, but we didn't have that one circled as a potential win, so that's good. And we're just starting the season out with what we expect to be good racetracks for us. So going into a really good stretch, hopefully we are competitive. We can see where we stack up. Obviously, it would be amazing to win again early on in the season, but we don't really know where we're at. So we'll get a good feel of where we're at between this race, the next two, and then reevaluate and see what we need to improve on.
We'll stick with Justin in the center right there.
Yeah, Justin Schuler, Athlon Sports. Two questions. One, our camera angle shows the tires right there at one of the corners coming back, and we have the camera from corner exit. Is that tire barrier as big of a threat as it looks like from corner exit for you guys from corner entry?
So I'm assuming you're talking about 6A, right?
I believe that's 6A. I think
that's the last tire barrier that we have left. But yes, I went around there in the pace car yesterday. Like, you're coming off of turn 6, and whenever you leave turn 6, like, you're basically center punching this tire barrier, and so you have to like awkwardly make the car want to get back right to get your angle right for 6A to get around the tire pack. So I mean, I think the start of the Xfinity race is going to be exciting to see everyone try and navigate that corner for the first time. So it's going to become less and less of a talking point as the drivers get acclimated to it and get used to it. But certainly those first couple restarts are going to be interesting to see how everybody defends and attacks. And we're going to learn a lot by watching the Xfinity race.
And then just kind of a separate question from today's race, but I think earlier this week it was announced that you were part of the playoff committee. Is that correct?
Yes.
Do you have any early insight? Have you guys started conversations within that committee? And then I guess what's your sense of what you would like to see change with the playoff format? How are you hoping to contribute to that committee to future changes with what may come to the sport as a whole?
Number one, I'm honored and privileged to be a part of that, and I think it's really cool that NASCAR and the industry respects me enough to have me be a part of it. So that's awesome, and I'm grateful that I get to help out with that. So the goal for the whole thing is to help bring more legitimacy to the championship, and I think everybody has believed that the champions of the new age are held to it feels different than like what Jimmy did and the guys back in the day. So the whole goal is to make the drivers feel like that championship is a big deal, the biggest deal of our life. And so hopefully we can get a format that provides a lot of entertainment, a lot of excitement, and some amazing finishes to the championship race while upping the legitimacy of the NASCAR Cup Series championship. And hopefully that, I'm assuming it would bleed down to the other series as well.
Any additional questions for Christopher? All right. Thank you very much, Christopher. Best of luck out there today.
Thank you, guys.
Just a reminder, our qualifying bullpen will open at 9:15. It'll close for practice.